What the fuck? I just came back to, like, a raid? The hell? You were trying to time the raid? What the hell? You still got 2 minutes of ads left. I was literally out of my room and I heard the noise and I was like, oh shit, what's going on? Who raided me? Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I'll be real. Well, hi guys, I guess. We've got ads going, but I guess I can start a bit earlier than I intended. How's that heart rate? Better. I had to run here. I was grabbing a knife. I was grabbing a knife for all the cheese that I have here. You can see it's stacked up. My desk, like, oh shit. There it goes. All the cheese is gone. No more cheese. I don't actually know what's in, like, most of these, but, like, it's here, and it goes, like, all the way, like, it's, like, that high. Please tell me Pico's outside. She is outside. She is not in here. Let me turn this back on. Actually, no, hold on. Let me find the right thing. Yeah, I was grabbing a knife, and I had to run back in here because someone decided to raid me while my ads were running. So, whatever, I guess. Oh, hell yeah. I hate cheese? Nell? You hate cheese? That's crazy. Why the hell would you say that? Scully with the sub to Dawn? Yo? Hell yeah. Alright, well, ads are over anyway, so how's everybody doing? It's time for cheese. You did this to me. I was actually considering subbing, so thank you. That's crazy. Insane that happened. But while I do this, I'm gonna just slightly pop that down there so you guys can see what's playing. I did nothing. What are you talking about? Die. Anyway, I wish you could see how much cheese. Actually, you probably can see how much cheese there is. This isn't the direct cause of the Melton Cheese Festival at all. This is your fault. Anyway, where is... What am I looking for? Oh, my camera. I just hit settings. Guys, I need you to look at this. I need you to look at this cheese. So, I can actually control my camera from off screen. Look at the amount of fucking cheese I have. Cheese. Cheese. Pile of cheese. This is all cheese. I don't know if any of this doxes me or anything, but, like, who cares? And then I can cancel, and I need to have it pan back to me. This is going so well already. Yeah, this is $150 of cheese. But we'll see. Anyway, it's $150 worth of cheese. So, you did this. You donated to charity. You got me to $100 in, like, the first day. So this is your fault. This is your fucking fault. But, I don't know. Maybe I should just get started. I don't know what I have. That's the problem, right? Wag, will you marry me on stream? No. No, Nell, I won't. What a thing to come to. What the hell? Sorry, Nell. I'm pretty sure that you already have a husband. So... Wag is my ex-wife. What the hell is this going on? Guys, calm down. Guys. I'm gonna let everybody go. Like, things are happening, but I've been given permission. We have like 3 of these in the fridge. But it's double cream camembert. This thing. Suitable for vegetarians and contains milk. I am in your walls. Dawn, get out of my walls. You're not allowed. This is all cheese. But, yeah. I get to try. I don't know how I'm gonna rank these. I wasn't ready, guys. Gonna need somebody to draw a flowchart of who's divorcing who. There seems to be a lot of shit going on. Look at this, guys. We've hit cheese. 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 It's cheese. Can you guys... Oh, fuck. Sky's making a flowchart of divorces. Damn. There's a lot of people have been divorced. That's crazy. Alright. I guess, like, this is the base cheese, right? Camembert? Why is James May on my screen? Oh. Wait, hold on. I can't do it properly, but, like, I have a big block of cheese. A big block of tasty cheese. And going, cheese. Never asked Wag if he could be my wife. I kind of just did it. And then I divorced you immediately when I found out. So... cheese. That donk? Yes. I was very glad that it picked up. But I'm going to... This is going to be interesting. Cheese to meet you, guys. This is what you donated for. How cold are these cheeses? They have been in the fridge since yesterday. I bought them yesterday. Worth every dollar. Yes, so... This is... Double cream camembert. A soft, milky cheese that captivates its earthy, sweet tones and finishes on a slightly tangy note. At semi-room temperature, they'll all taste stronger. Well, that's a good... I'm glad that it's not room temperature. Okay, I don't really like the aftertaste. I liked the original, like, I liked the the taste of it initially. The aftertaste, not so much. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't ban this word that's here. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Going off the rails. Yeah. I actually really don't like the taste. Maybe it would grow on me, but not really. But anyway, I don't know if I can use this. Hold on. Guys, I have an idea. We got the board. I forgot about this. Ignore everything that it says right now. You know? Imagine everything that's here, right? Get rid of that. Get rid of this. We don't need any of those. What the hell's going on, guys? Guys, please. Guys, you can't ban me from saying words right now. I'm gonna call and judge your cheese taste? That's fine. I'm removing this. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm gonna put it on the list. No one noticed. I'm gonna put it on the list. So this is Camembert. So I guess I'll write it right here. How do I spell that again? I'm terrible. Camembert. So, it's fine. I see what you did there. Yeah, okay, don't mention it. So, this is the start of my list. This is the start of my cheese list. Camembert. That's what it says. That is exactly what it says. When we're done with our actual business meeting, we'll join PogChat. That's crazy. Not a fan of Bert. Yeah, well, I mean, it's middle right now. I don't like the aftertaste, but you know, the actual cheese was alright. It might have been the rind. I'm not gonna lie. It might have been the rind. Beauty till we're done. Awesome. Alright. Well, that's one thing. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Probably was? Yeah, no, I'm 100, like, I'm sure it was. I'm gonna have to, like, remind myself, but we've got some feta. Some Australian style feta. I don't know if I've got any feta here. Oh, okay, so we actually have two feta cheeses. We got Australian style and Greek style. Your hair has lost all purple and this is wild to me. Yes. It's gone slightly red, which is kind of crazy. But this is Colby. This is Colby cheese. This has got some Colby. I've got some Colby cheese slices. So I'm gonna have this first because you know cheese. What does this say? A smooth, creamy textured Colby, ideal for melting and grilling. I've got to like fold it. I do like Colby cheese. Colby cheese is probably pretty good. I do like Colby. Cheese slices, the premium. Yes. So, at the moment on the list, let me move it over. My controller. You can stay on the ground. All right. Colby cheese is going up here. I can't spell right now because I'm at an odd angle. But Colby cheese, way better than Camembert. I'm gonna eat the rest of it. Banger cheese. This is like an S tier cheese. Dude, I didn't drop any cheese on the ground yet. It's gonna overtake really quickly. Alright. Australian oh, it's leaking. Oh, it's leaking. I need to go to Aldi. You're coming with me. What ranking would you give toe cheese? Instant F. Is it better than blue cheese? Who knows? How you doing, Vestige? Some feta cheese. My feta cheese is leaking all over me. How do I get some of this? Is 52 slices of American cheese S tier? That depends. This is Australian style feta cheese. This is not gonna work. It fucking leaked on me. I'm putting it back in the Colby. Literally developing IRL madness over Everdark's Sovereign Libra. You? I'm developing IRL madness over eating like 52 types of cheeses. Oh, it smells like ass. the feta juice. I've got like a tea towel. It's literally brine. Yeah. I don't like it. Did you say who? I don't know anymore. I'm confused. I'm jealous. No, I do know, yeah, the Libra. Yeah. The Beast. I know the Beast. I think Luca and I beat it, with the two of us. Do I like Colby better or no, actually? Sorry. What was it? Australian feta. Australian feta is below Camembert. It's getting me. It's killing me. Guys, I'm dying. I guess the question is, does Greek style taste better? This is also like semi-wet. Interesting. We'll see how this goes. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this cheese. I'm going to be real. I'm going to slightly open it. I'm going to cut a slice. Not much. Oh, don't. Why is it? Oh my god. It's leaking again. My mouse mat is going to smell like cheese. Anyway, Greek style feta. Get a plate? Oh, I didn't think it'd be leaking fucking everywhere. I don't know if it tastes any different. I'm gonna be real. Aftertaste, not good. It's not good. So maybe I'll just rub out Australian and just put feta. I think I imagined a sun. What the fuck do you mean by this? What? That's what she said. You're so right for this. Oh my god. I'm dying. Guys, you're not gonna this is the end, this is my final stream. I'm gonna finish stream and die. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna we've got some original Philadelphia cream cheese. This one, I'm pretty sure this one's actually good. Yo, I love this song. Metaphor Refantasio based. We scoop it of cheese. Creamed. Oh my god. You can just see it in my mouth. Cream cheese is always a banger. Oh, that had some feta on it as well. I will say, for now, cream cheese goes up here. Cream. We got Colby and cream. And then Camembert and feta. Feta's, at the moment, feta is in the worst tier. I'm probably gonna have to move these, because it's definitely going to, like, run out of space, because I've got so many more cheese. We also have, we have high protein cottage cheese. Maybe I'll get some of the more softer cheeses out of the way. Oh, that looks disgusting. Oh, look at this fucking shit. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's literally like goopy. Ugh. We'll see how this goes. I should have got the spoon as well. Oh god. My internet died and my god, what a time to come back. Yeah. I mean, all things considered, cottage cheese has no taste. I can't, like, that didn't taste like anything. Do I have COVID? Maybe. But, like, the texture was disgusting. But it didn't taste like anything. Cottage cheese does not need to be in everything. You're actually so right for that. I'm gonna put it here. Only because it did not taste like anything, and the texture was crap. If it's a good cheese, it tastes like something. Except feta. Feta can go fuck itself. I'm almost tempted to just put feta lower. Like, I wish this was like paint, so I could just go. You know? I wish I could do that, but I can't. Okay, what else do I have? I don't know how long this is going to be, but we've got some goat cheese. We got some goat cheese. I don't know. Has anyone had goat cheese? Well, I don't know if this is good or not. Ooh, buddy. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Yep. Oh god. I like goat cheese, but it's polarizing. It's decent. Let's find out if I like it. Big scoop. I mean, it tasted better than feta. It was easy to get through. This is something you'd put on like a sandwich. It's basically like the equivalent of cream cheese. Better than feta, yeah. I actually didn't mind that one. Like there was no like the aftertaste wasn't bad. Like it doesn't taste as good as Colby or cream, but like it was kind of like Camembert, but without the bad aftertaste. So for that, goat is going here. I'm assuming that there's going to be something above this and below feta, which is why I'm putting this in the middle, but we'll find out. If I have to like draw lines and shit, I will. This is how it's going to go down. But like, you know, right now goat cheese is third on my list out of 6. It's extremely rare that I do eat cheese these days. Look, we're not judging. I barely eat cheese, and look what I have to do on stream right now. Oh, okay, what do I hit? Extra creamy Danish blue cheese. Danish blue cheese. Do you guys think I'm gonna like blue cheese? Do you guys think blue cheese is gonna go hard? I need a whole disc of Brie Solo back in my day. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yummy blue cheese. Yummy moldy cheese. Keep refrigerated. Alright. I mean, all things considered, it doesn't smell that bad. I always thought that blue cheese smelled bad. That seems like a lot of blue cheese. Hold on. Well, this is like Danish or whatever, right? Fuck it. We'll bowl. We'll find out. Oh, that's strong. Oh my god. That's very strong. Oh my god. There's a reason why blue cheese is like that. Do you have water? No, I don't. This is a cheese stream, not a cheese and water stream. All things considered, it was a very strong cheese, but I did like the taste. It just was way too strong. Like, it was much stronger than I thought. You gotta reset your palate after each one? Nah. In small doses, that's really good. In a lot, it's very strong. It's intense. Yes, exactly. Which is why I'm thinking. Which one's this? The Danish blue? I don't know if it depends, but Danish blue definitely tastes better than goat. Danish blue is third. Maybe I'll swap cream and Danish blue because I actually really did like Danish blue. Colby's still like the best one because it's so good. Now you could try blue cheese sauces. I could if I wanted to. I won't lie, that was pretty decent. All right, Nell, it's time. It's time for your red light. What? How do you pronounce this? Leicester? Red Leicester? A smooth and nutty cheese, expertly made in Somerset by third-generation cheesemakers and matured to develop its flavor and texture. This has been matured 8 months, and it was made in the United Kingdom. Triggered? Did I say it wrong? Made in Somerset. Look, that's what it says. That's what it says. What can I say? This is just the cheese that I got. I saw it was made in the United Kingdom, and I was like, yo, Leicester? Yeah, I just didn't know how to pronounce it properly. My bad, my bad. Leicester. I don't know. We'll find out how this tastes. If I can fucking open it. Why can't I open this? There we go. I love that Nell's going crazy as the resident United Kingdom, the resident UK I don't know. Is that what you call them? All right. How am I gonna do this exactly? I'm like cutting corners off them. That's what I'm doing. British. That's right. That's what they're called. Come on. All right. There it is. That's the cheese. I dig it. I dig it. You know what? That's pretty good. That's actually really good. What the hell? It's not. It reminds me, like, the strength reminds me of the blue cheese, but not as, like, strong, which means it's more tolerable in larger amounts. You know what? It's cheddar adjacent. Yeah, that checks out. It's going here. That was really good, actually. If I can spell it right.
Fish.
Fish? I'm not eating fish. Can you imagine fish cheese? It's going here. And I think I'll move cream down one. This is saying something of my opinions. This is it now. Do you guys think my writing looks like Comic Sans? That's kind of crazy. I just made that connection. Yes. That's crazy. Guys, this is Comic Sans. Now that you mention it, that's crazy. It, like, writing this just hit me that it, like, I see the vibes. I see what's going on here. I wonder what font I used growing up. Oh shit. What is this? What kind of cheese is this? This is smoky cheese slices from Woolworths. Western in the UK is made in, like, Leicester, and we invented, like, at least 3 cheeses. That's pretty cool. Is this, like... What kind of fucking smoky cheese... Like, what does this mean? What kind of cheese is this? You would not survive Stilton. Well, I don't know. Maybe I have some here. I don't know. I've got fucking Spanish Manchego cheese. Cheese turger. No way. I've also got, Parmigiano Regano and, double brie. What did you just call me? Cheese turger. We got some Merced Valley sweet chili cheddar. Sweet chili cheddar, some mascarpone, some ricotta. I got a fucking bag of fresh mozzarella. It's a floppy bag. Fucking wet. We got a club cheddar. I got a lot of cheddar, I think. That's, like, my bad. We got some Gouda, some Gouda cheese. We got some truffle cheese. Fucking a Chia vintage. I don't fucking... I'm, like, going through all the cheeses. French, Comte. Fucking, I just have a lot of different cheeses. Right? There's a lot of cheeses here that I don't know. But Squawk is French. Where the string cheese at? I don't. Bringing bags out on stream is illegal? I don't know. I don't know. You're not a fan of the smoky cheese? Really? You don't like this? You don't like this? String cheese? Oh, okay, wait, hold on. So I got told that I have to put string cheese and Babybel on here. Can't believe how quickly the purple left your hair. I know, it's crazy. And you know, I also, I fucking bleached it. Does it look like it's been bleached? It's like, you can see it's slightly, like, red. Babybel is trash. I fucking hate Babybel. We'll like put string cheese on the same level. Why am I writing cheese? So, string cheese and goat cheese are, like, the same to me. I didn't even see Wag's purple hair. What brand did I use? I used, Bright. The blue cheese sticks are pretty good. Look, string cheese or cheese sticks are just, like, really mellow cheese. That's my opinion. That's the same brand I use, and the purple is still in my hair. Well, my hair just doesn't hold dye. I've said this before. Love the mellow cheese. See, I'm a big fan of the strong cheeses. From the time I did it, like, 3 months ago, yeah. So this is smoky cheese. I don't actually know what kind of cheese this is. It's like artificial cheese. This was made in a lab. this cheese was made in a lab. I get cheesed. That's burger. You telling me that cheese be smoking? I made it into like 4 smaller cheese slices. It's fucking like rubber. Does it taste good? It tastes artificial. That's what it tastes like. It tastes artificial. It's rubber cheese. Yeah, that's my feeling. I sent you the family tree. My mouse is currently covered by cheeses. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This shit tastes like not as good. Become the Goggler. We locked in. Why are you still eating it? Because I gotta eat the cheese. I gotta eat the cheese. I still think feta was worse. I'm gonna be real. Hi, oh my god, hi Frosty. Better disguised, surely? Bro's gonna be farting after this. I'm just not gonna go to work tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be on the toilet all fucking day. It's hard to eat, like, it's hard to put this down. You know, like, I actually, all things considered, this cheese is decent, but, like, in large quantities, this shit ass. I'm lactose tolerating tonight. I won't lie. I think it's, like, here. I think it's in there. Whatever the fuck smoky cheese is. Was it with an E? Shit. It was with an E. I'm gaming. So that's like the smoky cheese slices. This is my list so far, Frosty. What do you think? What do you think of my cheese list? Do you agree with... Do you... Is one of these a hot take for you, Frosty? If you can fucking read it. I'm still chewing on this smoky cheese. It tastes ass. Obviously, we got Colby up top. I like soft cheeses. I like strong cheeses. Strong cheeses are my best. They're the best. Something like fucking cottage cheese, like, doesn't taste like anything, but has a really bad texture. Feta had a really strong aftertaste, and it was also leaking all over me. Goat is kind of like literally mid right now. Goat is mid. Goat is currently mid. Cottage cheese makes me want to gag. So basically, everybody's kind of agreeing with my list so far. Put feta at the bottom with blue cheese. All other cheeses are good. I actually quite like blue cheese. Well, the Danish blue that I had is pretty decent. I'm banning everyone who says feta is bad. Dawn, it leaked over me. Feta, it fucking leaked on me, and it smelt like ass, dude. Blue cheese has mold in it. I'm eating mold? You're telling me I'm eating mold? That's crazy. Anyway, what do I have? I also, yeah, no, like, look. This cheese here. This is blue Stilton. Hey, Nell, I got your Stilton. Camembert would be higher for me, feta too, but feta isn't a solo cheese. Yeah, well, I'm solo cheesing this shit. I knew I had fucking Stilton. Like the mouse? Yeah. Will I survive Stilton? Who fucking knows? Be careful. Be careful. That worries me. Alright, well, all things considered, double brie. A tiny bit, itty bitty. I'm gonna die on stream. Is it really strong? That's awesome. I'm gonna die on stream, guys. This is my last stream. This is my will and testament. All of my Steam accounts. Oh fuck, who would I give my Steam account to? Brie is Wilden too? Oh boy. If I could fucking open it. I have a hardcover Geronimo Stilton book with gold edges I found at the op shop. Oh, a couple of those came in at my work. That was it's pretty cool. You gotta take a big bite of Stilton. Let's fight over your Steam account. Everybody gets access to my Steam account. Everybody gets all 2,000 and whatever games that I own. I can't even see where to open this. Who the fuck packaged this brie? Fuck it. I just like kind of just like tore its ass out. Anyway, brie is Wilden. Oh, it's got like a hard. Oh, I see. I see. It's wild. It is Wilden. Oh, don't drop the knife. Are those your cheese eating goggles? No, I got told to become the goggler. Get that fuck ass shit cheese out of here. So this is double brie. This is unbelievable. This is best before the 9th of September. Smooth and creamy. There's the taste. It took that long for it to kick in. Can I see the Spampton plush? Yeah. You know what took that long to kick in? Can you cover Spampton in cheese? No. Look at how fucking... It's Spampter. Hold on. Drench him in milk and throw him against the wall. It's Spampton. His nose go crazy. I didn't know he made noise. Yeah. Drench him in feta juices. No, my boy. He's pretty cool. You know, all things considered. Pretty cool. You know, I got these guys. This lad, the same place I got these guys too. They're all from Fangamer. Okay, I don't know. Sorry, Spampton. Alright, all things considered, what do I think of brie? Well, considering the fact that it was very fucking bland, until, like, you know, a minute after chewing it, it's... Kind of being the best-selling Fangamer item is crazy. Yeah, I want to get the Cerberus plushies from Hades. That's fair. That's very fair. That is a valid pick. Hades is goated. I need to play it more. Oh, what a... What's going here? That might be a hot take, but brie is... Camembert is better than brie. Oh. I have to, like... Given you seem to like strong cheese, I'm not shocked. Yeah, right? That makes sense. I'm thinking... Is it higher, or... I'm trying to judge. I feel like you need a plain cracker for these. This isn't the cracker and cheese stream. This is the cheese stream. This is what you donated for. Ah, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna be nice to brie. It's going up here. So, brie is better than Camembert. Stilton? Do I hit Stilton? Guys, should I hit it? Should I hit? I donated for Wagsune Miku, actually. That's fair. You know what? That's valid. I think the goggler is gone now. Okay. Where is it? Where did I put it? Where'd it go? I've lost it. Where the fuck? Oh, it's on the floor. I donated to fail to make Wag... Yeah, you failed to make me laugh. I found it. The Stilton is on the floor. It's wrapped in fucking... It's like wrapped in plastic. This is crazy. Do not lose a blue cheese in your room. No. No, I would not want to do that. Expertly aged, sharp, and blue-veined cheese, traditionally made in the village of Long Clawson, Leicestershire, using local cow's milk. How many different versions of the same stuff did you get? I tried to get all different stuff. I tried my best, No guarantees. There we go. It's being cut. I've I've cut. It's a very crumbly cheese. Okay. Here we go. Hmm. Is it gooey? Yeah. Why do people post nothing reviews of items and upload the shittiest photos of them? Who knows? The concentration is because I'm trying to gauge, right? It's definitely not as strong as the Danish blue. Maybe it's because I didn't get enough of it on, like I didn't eat it enough. Walk us through it. I'm not a food critic. I'm not a cheese critic either. I'm just eating them for charity. That's a crazy sentence. Yeah, no, it wasn't that strong to me. You know? You're literally cheese critic for 2 hours. You need better Stilton? Yeah, probably. Who knows? Send some Stilton to me, not Nell. Who burnt your taste buds? Well, actually, working at a containers for change scheme for a year and a half blew out my my scent, my smell, my sense of smell. So maybe I'm just like, maybe it's just built different. I'm not gonna lie, Stilton. Well, I mean, Stilton definitely still tasted like something, right? Stilton still tasted like something. I did like, because I am apparently an enjoyer of blue cheese. Cream is still like better, just like the all rounder. Stilton's goes there. It was better than Goat, 100%. Drop that shit. Hot take central over here. Yeah, I could see myself eating this more. Squawk, what do you think of Brie? Brie kind of ass. What now? Do you guys think I should go for the Manchego cheese? The Spanish cheese? This is like sheep cheese. Time yourself out? Why? How do I open this? Why do I need to time myself out? What did I do? Blue cheese topped on roast potato is top tier. Ooh. Ooh, I could see that. Fucking love Brie. Well, Brie is currently 6th bottom. Brie is currently my 6th least cheese. Sixth? I don't think I'm gonna be opening this. Come on, open! This is like... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I opened it. I was able to open it. I don't have scissors or anything, so I'm resorting to having to, like, cutting it with my knife. I need to get some actual cheese. Come on, fucking break, please. It's very bland. Do you even have anything to pair the cheese with, or are you raw dogging it? Yeah, I'm raw dogging the cheese. I won't lie. This would be a good sandwich cheese. This is definitely a good sandwich cheese. It tastes better than Goat, I'll be real. Oh, wait. This is the way I do it. This one was Manchego. That's my list. Tell me why it looks like the exact wig listing I was looking at 2 days ago is gone. Hello, cheese boy. Hi, Noah. Time. Wait, hold on. I have to time Nell out and time Dawn out? That's crazy. Guy, you're here. You could time them out if you wanted to. That's crazy that we get 2 times out. You know how to do that, Sky? Get out. And then I guess there we go. Oh. I've timed both of them out for 5 minutes. Because it's 5 minutes. Well, where's the Among Us cheese? Not up to me. Alright. Yeah, it's 5 minutes, Sky. Do I need to time you out as well? Yeah, that was a very, like, bland cheese. I'm gonna be real. Alright, we got the Club Cheddar Trilogy. I don't know what that means. Oh, this is from Tasmania. Yo? This is from Tassie. If I can fucking open it. That's a good one. Summer Herbs Vintage and Sun-Dried Tomato. Yeah, we got flavored cheese. That brand is awesome. Should I just fucking... Alright. Guys, how much would you pay me to just go, with this cheese? Guys, I would do it for, $10. We paid you 700 already? Shut up! Otherwise, I'm gonna do like a sliver. I'm gonna do like a tiny sliver. I hacked the system. Oh my god. We paid specifically for this. Yeah, but I'm I'm slicing ever so slightly, you know? I'm trying slight cheese, because obviously I don't want to fucking die. Can you try each of them individually? I mean, yeah, I can do that. That's what I'm saying. I'll $10 for the bite, and then I'll try them all each individually. You can see it. I think this is the sun-dried tomatoes. I mean, it's just fucking cheddar. I can barely taste the sun-dried tomato in that. Bro thinks he's Neapolitan ice cream. Real. I mean, that's fucking cheddar, right? This is the summer herbs. I don't taste summer herbs. Oh, maybe. And then this one's just normal cheddar. Found a week for $3. Give me like 5 months. I would shave my head for charity and wear it as a wig. It has 2 reviews. Do I risk it? Do I have any other cheddar in here? Oh yeah, no, I've got the sweet chili cheddar. I think that's all I have. I got tasty cheese, but I'm probably not going to have that because that's, you know, tasty cheese is just cool. Chili. Alright, let's give it a shot. Let's give the chili cheese a shot as well. Because why the fuck not, you know? Chili cheese. That's a lot more chili. Well, it's a lot more cheese than chili. Oh yeah, fuck, I can taste the sweet chili already. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. I will say, I'm not a big fan of sweet chili. Like, I'll have it in certain circumstances, but usually I'm not a big fan of sweet chili. Okay. That's definitely, it's fucking cheddar. It's a strong cheese. Right, we'll put cheddar up here because, you know, cheddar. My handwriting is getting worse and worse as like the position on my hand changes because I obviously don't want to rub any of this out. So I'm holding the pen further away. Cheddar slaps. Sweet chili cheddar. Nah. Sweet chili cheddar ass. All right. Do I hit the mascarpone? Do I hit the dessert cheese? Dawn's timeout says 0 seconds remaining, so she may be dead. That's awesome. R.I.P. Dawn. Can we get L's in chat for Dawn? Banger song time? Right. This makes me want to make a tiramisu. Listen, tiramisu goes hard. I haven't had this in a while. Damn. Oh. Okay. You weren't lying when it was dessert cheese. Holy shit. I forgot what that tasted like. Shit, okay. Okay, I'm done. Christmas is not Christmas without mascarpone. That's real. Alright. I mean, all things considered, it's kind of just like another cream cheese. I don't like coffee. I don't like coffee either, but I love a tiramisu. Oh, where do I put... This is like in another league, right? This is not normal cheese. Can you mix all the cheeses together and eat it? No. I'm gonna say it's on like the same level as cream, but we're gonna put cream. I'm gonna do this. It is just another cream cheese. How do I fucking spell it? Hold on. Make a cheese smoothie? That sounds like ass. Mascarpone. Mascarpone. I like Parmigiano Reggiano. Well, I got it right here. You're all cunts. That's crazy. Saying from the fucking UK. Straight from the UK. That's awesome. How you doing, Sirius? You know what? Let's do this one. I will be over shortly. I can give you the cheese! Let's go. I don't have to use the cheese. That's sweet. Thanks, Sirius. Thank you for taking the cheese off my hands. That being said, like, everyone fucking knows where I live, basically, so it's fun. Anyway, cheese. On my way. No, I'll give it to you at some other point, not today. Why it fucking crunchy? What the hell? We are all disappointed. Why this shit crunchy? Why was it like slightly crunchy? Product of Italy. Oh shit, this is like straight from Italy. It's meant to be grated and shaved. It's meant to be hard. Yeah, this is like yeah, that makes sense. This is like a grated cheese. This is good. Well, it's like Parmesan. On my way. Guys, stop. Chat, clip that. What did I do? Literally got keys and wallet ready to come over? Damn. No, not today. I will say, it's like on the same thing as cheddar. You ate it wrong? The fuck, guys? It's cheese. It's fucking cheese. You can eat it however you want. I will say, it's like same level as cheddar. I gotta write all this out. Fuck it, I'm coming over too. Guys! Stop coming over. It's meant to be used for cooking? Yeah, I could see that. Cheese party, oh my god. I'm not gonna write the whole name. I'm not gonna write the whole name because that's like too long. Tickets to Aussie are too expensive. Damn. Spaghetti Incident 2, but it's cheese. I was literally talking about that today. I was literally talking about the cheese incident, the spaghetti incident yesterday. Today. Fuck! I'm good at this. I'm good at this streaming shit. Anyway, we've got a couple left. We've got the whatever this is. We've got the French. We've got the Gouda. We got the truffle cheese. We got some ricotta. Can raw cheese be bad? I don't know. Got blue cheese. I have eaten some blue cheese already. I don't even know what kind of this is. Is this cheddar? Yeah, this is cheddar. Fucking whatever. I've eaten this already. We got whatever this is. Some Switzerland cheese. Wag, please grate the Italian hard cheese. That's racist cheese? Goat's cheese? Yes, I have eaten some goat's cheese. That was actually pretty decent. I would never talk to you again. Well, I'm gonna do it at some point. Just not today. We got some actual Parmesan cheese. Cashew cheese. Look, I tried to get whatever I could get. We got some Jarlsberg cheese. The wrapping kind of shrunk. What's the difference between grated and non-grated in taste? Less strong. We got some Netherlands cheese. Adam. What's over here? We got some honey and pistachio soft creamy cheese. That looks like ass. That looks disgusting. We got some halloumi. Why did you say it wrong, Edam? Because why? Do you think I know how to pronounce cheese? And we got some fresh mozzarella in a bag. You got halloumi? I did get halloumi cheese. Some of these you have to cook. Well, imagine eating raw cheese. Do I have to cook? Do I have to? Have I fucked up by getting some halloumi? What if I just ate it raw? Oh yeah, it says cut into. Get you to it. Some of them you have to cook or they taste as really bad. Well, how was I supposed to know that? I thought I had bocconcini. I thought I bought bocconcini, but obviously not. Maybe they didn't have any when I checked. Or if I yeah, no, I definitely Huh. I swear I had bocconcini, but apparently not. I know I wanted to get it. Go to shop quickly. I could. Or I could just eat some halloumi cheese right now. Sirius can shop. I could get Sirius to go grab some bocconcini for me. No, I'm sorry. Bocconcini's off the list. Halloumi. What does S stand for? Oh yeah, you thought it was sheep or whatever. I remember this story. Do it anyway. Yeah, get some bocconcini. Anyway. And I'll add to my tier list. Guys, this is halloumi. Can I have your mom's number? No, you can ask her next time you see her, I'm sure. Guys, going to eat raw halloumi. Eat a little bit? That is a little bit. The texture will be foul. Yeah. I mean, all things considered. Light work, no reaction? Yeah, no. Why wouldn't you be able to eat cheese, like, raw? And it's gone. Uncooked halloumi cheese. Where do I put that? I won't lie. It's gonna be like here. I'm gonna specifically put uncooked. Uncooked. How do I spell halloumi? All things considered, it didn't taste that bad, actually. Uncooked halloumi. I don't think I trust your ratings. What's wrong with the ratings that I have? Don't look at how top better it is. So much better cooked. Yeah, that's why I put it down the bottom. All things considered, like, it didn't taste like ass, you know? Feta tasted like ass, so that's why it's above feta. Cottage cheese, the texture was garbage. Halloumi, the texture wasn't that garbage. Like, especially uncooked. Smoky's just a fucking slog to get through. Camembert, it's better. Camembert's better than uncooked halloumi. I can't believe I just ate uncooked cheese that's supposed to be cooked. Anyway, what's everybody's opinions on my tier list so far? Everybody hates my opinions, I'm assuming. I just ate raw cheese. But we got some French cheese. Luca, what the fuck? Luca, what the fuck? Luca, what the shit? I have to do a karaoke stream now? Ah, crap! I don't hate them, this is as chaotic as I expected. You were warned? I was warned. I do remember this. Oh my god, we hit 800. Oh, shit. 2 tiers left. I have to start making fucking, It's Mr. Beast. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start making fucking stretch goals at this point, guys. Thank you, Mr. Beast, for the $100. Holy shit. Luca, do you have any opinions on this? Yeah, I need stretch goals. Do you have any opinions on my list? I'll give you I should order a maid outfit. I'm gonna be real. Actually, hold on. I'm curious now. Tiltify. Tell Waggy his bad opinions. Yeah, no, I need to order a maid outfit because there's no way I'm not getting to 1,000. But hold on. I need to check something real quick. Guys, if Parmigiana ain't number 1, we can't talk. It's equal to cheddar at the moment. His opinions aren't the best. Sorry, Luca. I know you're Italian, but like... Also, if blue ain't down the bottom, then we can't talk. Shit. Sorry, Luca. Feta is at the bottom? I hate fucking feta cheese. And I do like me some blue cheese, so... Sorry, Luca. We're not allowed to talk anymore. But guys, I have information to drop right now. Technically, Babybel... Oh yeah, Babybel is absolute dog shit. It's right down the bottom. Feta is second best. Worst. Last year, we raised 883 cents. We have almost beaten that in 18 days. 83 cents. It's 83 cents. $800.83. Guys, I'm gonna beat my record of most money earned, like, what is it, raised? It's the 3 cents that counts. Yeah, 83 cents. $800.83. Someone donates 83 cents. We will have been tied. That's what I'm saying. This has been crazy, guys. This is the most money earned ever. Don't take the money. I'm not going to take the money. It doesn't go into my bank account at all. Actually, any money I got from Twitch this month in August will be going to the charity. Like, I will be donating all of the money. So any subscribers that I get, I got a subscriber today. That's $2. We've already beaten the goal. Guys, we did it. $60 in the negative. I'll do it tomorrow. Damn. No, how about... Oh, yeah, wait. I was in the middle of typing what my $900 goal is. That's right, guys. It's a Balan Wonderworld 100% series. I'm gonna have to 100% Balan Wonderworld if we hit $900. I have to figure out when I'm doing a karaoke stream. Maybe I'll do it Wednesday. I'm not ready for Wednesday, I'm gonna be real. Interesting. Why is Luca... guys, hold on. Hello? Yes? It leaked all over me. And it smells like ass. I just said what I have against Feta. Oh, yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh, we can't. Oh, you joking?
Sorry. I didn't realize.
I'm doing a funny bit right now. And
I didn't realize you were muted.
Chat, I have an issue with this, man. Why on earth is Feta down the bottom? I can't. I can't. Have you not had a nice, good old slice of pizza? And you got the Feta, you got the olives, you've got the tomato sauce basing, and it all works together. It's all just delicious. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful, Wag. That's what it is. Do you need me to go send you a great pizza with Feta?
Sorry, Luke, I have to interrupt you.
Oh my gosh, wait!
$902.
Okay, everything. Look, listen, Feta bit aside, that's nuts.
That's
crazy. Holy crap.
Will we hit 1K tonight by pure accident?
Chat,
who knows?
$98. $98 is all it's gonna take for this man.
Oh my God.
For this man to wear a maid dress in public to the Perth Convention and Exhibition Center. $98 is all it's gonna take. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it on the flipping cheese tier list stream, for crying out loud? On the cheese tier list stream. For crying out! Wait, what was 900? I didn't.
900 was a Balan Wonderworld, 100% series. So I'm gonna have to play Balan Wonderworld.
Those were words. Okay.
Luca, have you played Balan Wonderworld before?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have. Well, it's the really bad game that Yuji Naka made, and then got arrested.
That's a name.
Yeah. Mr. Sonic Man, Mr. Creator of Sonic, made the game, and then it was so bad.
I feel like my Feta bit is just redundant now.
$5 more, guys, it's happening. Lost my shit when they mentioned Yuji Naka and Shadow
You
the
should
Hedgehog.
play it and buy it and play it. And okay,
Luca, you won't need to.
Says I should. But is it on Steam?
It is on Steam. It is on Steam.
It's on Steam.
Have like
Hold
5
on,
copies of the game.
Balan Wonderworld Wonderland.
Balan Wonderland.
I'm looking this
Balan
up. I'm at least Balan One.
Got distracted.
Oh God. Wait. I've seen that. Oh, wait. Hold on.
It's
$927.
It keeps going up. How has this been my most profitable stream? Oh my God.
We're gonna do it. Is it gonna happen?
I'm getting my dad to donate. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
I don't have stretch goals, guys. I don't know what I'm supposed to do after we hit 1K.
Well, you wear the maid dress at Pixel Expo. That's what you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's obviously going to happen regardless. I'm gonna have to buy it. Wag Torture stream.
Ooh.
Guys.
Sleep stream?
No. Absolutely not.
Sleep stream? Question mark?
I'm doing a 24-hour stream on the last day. Like, oh fuck. Broke Mr. Beast. It keeps going up, guys. I'm terrified.
Broke Mr. Beast.
Mr. Least just donated. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Every little bit counts.
Every little bit
counts towards our goal.
Every little bit.
Also, every little bit.
If I hit 1,000 right now, I'll put Feta up the top.
Yeah, do it, Chad, do it. You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do.
It's only like
everyone donate.
$70. Oh my god.
It's actually 68, but
It's,
yes.
It's a lot less than I thought it would be. I haven't eaten a cheese in like fucking like 15 minutes because this bit's been funny
Yeah, cool.
as hell.
Consider this a palate cleanser for crying out loud.
I did say that I'd eat the cheese if someone donated $10. Like this, the fucking like triple
Also,
cheddar.
I'm looking at this game. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, no, this ain't cheap.
It's so bad. Luca, don't spend your money on it. Do not.
It's $52. You spent $52 on this game. I'm so sorry.
I spent $90 when it first came out.
You're joking.
I spent $90 on that game.
This thing was full price at one point? That's absurd.
Yeah. I also have it on PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox.
Why do you have it on different consoles?
Because it was funny. They were like all $5 each. Because they were on bargain bins at JB Hi-Fi.
I miss those days, man.
I do miss those.
All right,
days.
what cheese did you just put in your gob?
I just ate the Club Cheddar trilogy because I said I'd chomp on it. I said I'd chomp on it if $10 got donated, and like $200 and something just got donated. Actually, $300.
Hey yo!
Jesus Christ!
Crazy. Yeah, damn.
You have to eat more. I just took the biggest fucking bite. I think I've eaten half of that cheese. Oh.
There's still another half.
I'm not eating that half of the cheese.
Squawk, let's go! Let's go, Squawk, let's go!
Oh my god, your dad is donating?
Even $50. Even $50 would be insane.
Any amount of money is insane.
Literally.
$2.
Why $2? Hold on, what?
Because it's the minimum donation amount.
Oh, gotcha.
Can you believe that Sky has beaten their top donation by 8 cents? My dad is a tight ass. Awesome. I think I've gotten through half of the cheese, which is pretty good. I don't know how much he's donating. Who knows? But Luca, are you done with your bit?
Yeah, yeah, you can hang up now.
You're done with the bit?
Out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You're done with the Italian bit. He's gone! I didn't even... He just said that. That's awesome. Sorry, Luca. He just started calling me. I had to pick up. You know how it is. It was fun to have the Luca side commentary. It was. Luca's great. Shout out to Luca. I miss Luca. That guy's funny. Can I get a shout out for Luca? Sky, can you do a shout out for Luca? Always gotta answer Luca's call. Exactly. My homie. Anyway. What's his username again? How do you not know Luca's username? How can you not know his username? There he is. Anyway. There it is. Everybody, if you aren't following Luca already, please go follow Luca. What a legend. Anyway, and yeah, Clarity just popped up, so I'm like, yo, multiple bangers right now. Can I move my overlay down? Lilac Isle. How am I not following Luca? Fix that shit right now. Fix that right now. Anyway. What is this, brewery or whatever? The homie's taking over Wagstream, right? I believe on the on the last day of August, I'm gonna be doing a 24-hour stream, so people can probably just like pop in, pop out if they want to. So, but also shout out Lilac Isle. Go listen to Lilac Isle on streaming services. This cheese is meant to be melted. Well, it doesn't say that. Also, don't know how to fucking pronounce it because it's from Switzerland. Trialing Biases, yes. This is also my favorite track from Lilac Isle. So that was perfect. It's also not Clarity Sky, fake fan. Hyperfixate got to be one of my favorite genders. Lilac Isle slaps. Can we get some love for Lilac Isle? My favorite is If This Is Love. So true. Guys, if you aren't aware, this dude did an awesome released an album last PAX and also did the closing ceremony of Pixel last year. And is also a friend. So please go. He also streams under the, Mr. Local Boy. He also streams. So go check that out. Anyway, I'm gonna eat some cheese. Is he doing closing ceremony again this year? I don't know. I haven't asked him. Nothing has been said publicly, anyway. Yeah, this is definitely supposed to, be melted. This is ass. Jeez, what is this, a tier list stream? I would hope so. I don't know. Currently it's maid outfit stream in like $70. Damn, Squawk's dad didn't donate. Alright, all things considered, that was kind of crap. It's no longer lost, guys. Wait, which way is the accent? That way. That was ass. I'm gonna be real. It's supposed to be like a fondue cheese, yeah. But if it's not, it's ass. This blocked. It's like eating. Oh, actually, that's probably not a bad. That's probably a terrible. What am I trying to say? Don't eat it alone. Don't eat this cheese. Don't eat this cheese. Don't eat the cheese. We also have truffle cheese. We got some Spanish truffle cheese. Maybe I'll try this next. Or do I hit him with the French? Do I hit him with the French or do I hit him with the truffle cheese? I don't know. I'm gonna hit the French. The other melting cheese. Guys, I may not know what to do, but I'm gaming. Oh my god, that's kind of crazy, actually. We have hit $932. Never mind. I was literally saying something. Calm down. We're at 950. Oh my god. It's gonna happen. Thank you so much. Jesus. It's happening. I gotta open the cheese to cut the cheese. Ready? Ready for this? Cheese. Thanks, Squawks Dad. Unban. Was that Squawks Dad? Less than $50 till Feta #1. That's true, actually. I told him to make his display name something epic. That's awesome. That was ass. I'm gonna be real. That was worse. Which way is the accent? French, Switzerland. Guys, Feta's not last anymore. Like, last. I hate those. How do you make a cheese for melting only? Who knows? Why is my overlay not changing? Oh, probably because it doesn't have an album cover. Guys, play Unbeatable. Truffle cheese. How do you make it good when hot? Who knows? We're gonna try some truffle cheese. I dread to think of what this one's gonna be like. feel like I really shouldn't be opening this. Do you like truffles? I don't think I've ever tried truffles, which worries me. Tastes good, methinks. We're about to find out. It's very, like, gross. Good start. This red wine is tasting like $48. This feta cheese is tasting like $48. Mm. Ah. Hmm. 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 What was the most expensive cheese? Actually, I have no clue. I actually do not know. I can check my receipt. I'll do that. You could go over to Wag's house. So you could be fancy together. Show us your receipt. In a minute. I would need to pull it up on my phone. Truffle would be up there. I actually did like the truffle taste, but I don't know if it was better than any of these. It's above brie. This is such a scuffed tier list. Don't show us your receipt without checking for docs info first. That's the plan. Claim all this on tax. Oh my god, I can claim $150 of cheese on tax. You're so right for this. Hold on, let me check. Let me check my my receipt. My Woolies receipt. Because I always get my Woolies. Cheese tax! Oh my god. Do I have to log in? Maybe I don't have it available right now. I actually do want to know what my most expensive cheese was. Oh, it's really hot in my room right now. I'm on my phone during stream. That's my wrong password as well. Guys, I'm really bad at remembering my password. Because I use like 2 different passwords. What? How is it none of the above? What? What the fuck? Never mind, I don't have access. I don't know. I don't know. Never mind, I guess. Here's all of Wag's passwords. That's crazy. I got the notification as well, saying I did get it. I can put this back in my pocket. Anyway, back to cheese. I'm kind of tempted to save the mozzarella last because it's in a bag. The mozzarella, bagged mozzarella. It's jiggly. Put it on top of Mario Jamboree. I'm not eating that. I know that will be dead last. Alright, Edam. It's time for Edam. From Netherlands. Or however you actually pronounce it. Ooh, I actually just cut right into the cheese there. Instead of trying to open it, it was in the cheese. Cheesed all along. Don't eat the wax. Yeah, I'm not going to. Shit, I dropped the cheese on the floor. I just tabbed out and the sound with no visual was awful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to put up with that. I don't know how I dropped the cheese on the floor, I'm gonna be real. Cheese to beat you. I mean, I know I didn't eat the wax, but it just tastes like wax. I'm gonna pick up the cheese on the floor. It's a waxy, plasticky nothing cheese. Yeah, it definitely tastes like that. But at least it doesn't taste bad. Like feta. Maybe I need to try feta again. Maybe I'll actually like it. This reminds me of something. I'm trying to remember what it was. Is this your dinner? No, I already had dinner. It was spaghetti. All things considered. I'm thinking it's on like the same level as cottage cheese. What was that one? Adam. Somebody's gonna have to like make this look better for me. Because this is confusing as fuck. Maybe I'll try to make it better afterwards. We'll go from bottom to top. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cheeses left. There's 6 cheeses left. Everybody I know personally is allowed to come and grab their cheese of choice, by the way. I will happily give you some of the cheese. Luke is trying to call me again. Hello?
Hey. So,
Hmm.
joking.
You're joking?
I wasn't joking.
What do you mean? What? Oh my god, he's groaning it! He's groaning it on stream! You can barely fucking hear it.
It's not the only thing I'm doing on stream right now, by the way.
What do you mean by this?
It's not the only thing I'm doing on stream right now.
Guys, he's donating $48 to move Feta up all to the top.
There's nah, that's not it at all.
Oh shit.
That's exactly what I was doing. Yeah.
Oh,
What the dress?
Oh no! $400 from cheese.
Let's flip and go.
He's groaning it. I will give.
Feta goes up number 1, baby. Woo.
Feta is now top. Oh shit! And you know what that means? We have successfully reached my goal for everyday August, and we were barely halfway. We have reached.
How many days left? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
2 weeks
6,
left.
7,
Well,
8,
it was
9,
like
10, 11, 12, 13, 13 days.
13 days. This was like the 14th last day. Like there's literally like it ends next Sunday. So can we look at the maid dresses together?
In 2 Sundays.
It's Monday.
We should. You should open an Amazon tab and look at them right now.
Maybe we will. But yes, thanks to
After
everybody's donations, we have successfully hit the maid outfit stream. And also,
damn, all it took was red wine, guys. All it took was red wine. That's all I'm saying. Damn, it's crazy.
All it took was cheese. Oh my god. We hit 1,000.
Everyone clap.
I have to wear a maid outfit.
Clap.
At Pixel Expo Day 1. Everyone clap. I've got a clap emote. If you are
he does.
subscribed, I think. Pop the claps in. What? That's insane, actually. Oh my goodness. Why do I have 4 cents? Why is it $1,000 and $1,001.04?
I may have done my math wrong a little bit.
You did your math
maybe.
wrong. That's what makes it funnier, actually.
Look,
Oh,
just yeah. Look, yeah, yeah. Oh wait, you do have a sound in it. Actually, I'm gonna be different.
Fish. Wow.
Fish.
I have to wear a maid outfit to day 1 of Pixel Expo.
You sound like you say this like you're gonna be special.
I know, you're also wearing one. We're gonna be buddies! Oh
Those
my
that
God.
made together get paid together. That's what I'm saying.
So true. And most of that money went to charity for me, so thank you
Chat,
so much.
clip that, quote that. That's one for the quote book. Those that made together get paid together.
Yeah, we can run a maid cafe at Pixel.
True.
If you reach
Okay,
2,000, will you wear a maid outfit for
real.
day 2 as well?
I think that's an interesting stretch goal.
Oh
Not
no.
Chat, what y'all think? What y'all think? Should we do it?
Should we do it? Should I?
Okay, listen, all these jokes in the Pixel Pals like Discord about me running a maid cafe, it's actually making me like come up with ideas for it for next year.
Honestly, you should go for it. It'd be really funny.
I'm not even lying. I'm not even kidding when I say this. I will like legitimately hire like I'll hire like a
It'd be a good stream idea, Luca.
What's that like not like a portable. I'll hire one of those like vans that like create like just is a barista van or something like that, and I'll literally have it so people can make coffee.
Hell
Actually, I should just bring my own machines. Yeah, crap. Yeah, you know what? I'll just do it myself.
Yeah,
screw it. I'll spend a day just making coffees for people. Sure, why not?
That's crazy.
I'll do it.
That's crazy. Well, thank you, Luca, for the last.
Now you're welcome.
That's crazy.
Now you're welcome.
Now I need to think of incentives. I need to think of stretch goals for 1.1.
Mans didn't even plan this far ahead.
I didn't think I'd hit it this soon. I really didn't think I'd hit it this soon.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is you dangle the carrot of maid dress in front of the internet and they will gobble it up. That's all I'm saying.
True. That is true.
It took, to put it into perspective, Wag, it took 18 days.
18.
It took 18 days. That's all it took. Just
and it
over
took
half
you
a month.
less than 24 hours.
Yeah, look, I did warn you. I did warn you. It was gonna happen.
I should have been prepared.
And look, in my defense, I was only ever gonna donate the 100, but then then everyone came in clutch, and I was like, screw it.
So
I can drop
guys,
50.
guys, Luca only donated because you all donated as well.
Yeah, no, for real. For real.
Everybody,
y'all made this happen. Y'all made this happen. We all clutched up.
That's crazy.
We all clutched up.
I can't believe it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Also, chat, can we talk about the fact that this man's hair was purple a couple of days ago and now it's back to normal?
Shh.
I don't think he actually dyed his hair purple.
I did. You saw my hair.
I think we need to run it back.
Shit.
I don't know. I think we need to run it back.
I don't know if I can even run it back because it obviously left my hair really quickly.
Well, you should maybe bleach it and then dye it purple.
Okay, I did actually. I put bleach on my hair and everything, and it just didn't bleach my hair.
It clearly wasn't enough.
It clearly the bleach I got was faulty or something. Like what the hell?
It clearly wasn't enough.
In the middle of my hair, you can kind of see the red and purple remnants. I did dye my hair. It's just gone.
Remnant.
My hairline. Dear God. Don't look at that.
FNAF at Freddy's. That's where you want to be.
Oh, you know what? Five Nights at Freddy's ambience. Maybe if I do, I'm gonna hit the. I know what I'll do for the 1.1.
What?
All FNAF games.
Oh snap! Oh,
if I hit 1.1, I will play all of the FNAF games on stream.
Every single one, including Security Breach,
including Security Breach. I'll play Security Breach and Ruin and Secret of the Mimic again.
Secret of the Mimic.
Yeah,
really?
I'll play all the modern ones again. I've already played the modern ones. I played Security Breach last year, I think.
But are you saying you have to complete them, and if you can't make it past them, then you're just gonna stay stuck on that one? Is that what you're saying?
It will be I will play FNAF 1. I'll try to beat it. maybe I don't know if I'll be able to do 50-20 mode.
He's Souls liking the FNAF games.
Yeah.
He's Souls liking
Not
the
in a
FNAF
marathon,
games,
by
that's
the way.
crazy.
Not in a marathon. I'm
What do you
not
mean?
playing it in one.
What do
I'm
you
not
mean?
playing it all in one go.
Nah, but like, what if you like?
I
do
would
that for
be
the
stuck
24-hour
on the
stream,
first
that'll go
one
off.
for 12 days.
Yeah, go do that for the 24-hour stream. That'll go off. That's what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
no. I have a plan for the 24-hour stream. If
Okay, well,
I
then just
finish
do
my
another 24-hour
plans,
stream.
if I finish my plans, and we do hit the 1.1, I will play FNAF, the first one on stream, because I do own that one already. I'd have to buy 2, 3, 4 in sister location.
I've never even wanted to attempt 2. I've never just 2
I
has never.
I have
never
played
appealed
1,
to me.
2, and 3. Obviously, I don't own them, so like, I didn't do it. What about Help Wanted? Oh yeah, I'd play both Help Wanted. I own Help Wanted, the original. I'm pretty sure I played it in VR initially. I'm pretty sure I did a stream on it in VR. But I'd have to buy Help Wanted 2. But that's the stretch goal.
Help Wanted's a thing.
1.1. Yeah, I forgot about the Help Wanted games. But there we go.
Oh wait, yeah, there's 2, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 2. So there's your stretch goal. That was on the spot, bitch. 1.1. Check Spiff's marathon checklist with all the troll games as well. I play FNAF World as well. I love that game.
Oh,
I love that
gosh. Okay.
FNAF World's my
Chat,
favorite.
Look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've broken this man.
Look,
You've
what do you
broken
mean?
this poor
Yeah.
man.
You've turned me into a FNAF gamer.
Oh goodness.
Look,
What
I've
have you
played
done?
FNAF World
What have
on
we
stream
done?
before.
What have we done,
I've
chat?
played
What
Security
have we
Breach
done?
and Ruin
What
on
have we
stream.
done?
I've played Into the Pit. I've played Help Wanted. I've played
We've
the modern
enabled
games.
this man, chat. That's
have
what we've
enabled
done.
this
We've
man.
enabled this man.
Yeah. So, if we hit 1.1, I'll play all the FNAF games. Play all the Pikmin games. I already have. Except for Hey Pikmin.
Do it again.
That's the only game I haven't
that
played.
one.
I did it all on stream as well. Do it again. You know how long Pikmin 2 took me?
Pikmin 2 is the one with the poison one that like everyone's like,
Pikmin 2 is the one with caves, and it's cool. I love
Oh.
Pikmin 2.
oh.
My tier
I
list
see.
goes 2, 3, 1, 4. I hate Pikmin 4. It's actually not
Chat,
that
we've
bad.
just found out that wag can't count.
Fuck you mean? Fuck you mean I can't count?
2,
Pikmin
3,
2 is
1,
hard than
4.
ever. Look.
That's
I
not.
love
That's
Pikmin.
not numbers. Anyways,
then-
I'm gonna let you get back to cheese.
Yes,
Get-
I've got 5 cheeses left. Oh, 6, sorry. 6
Yeah.
cheeses. We're gonna blitz
I'm
through them,
numb.
obviously.
I'm
surely.
numb.
Thank you,
I'm
Luca,
numb
for
cheese.
the donations again.
Num 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 num. Num 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 cheese.
Num num cheese.
Num
Num
num.
num cheese.
Num 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 cheese. Anyways, okay.
Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. Fucking hell. I have to wear a maid outfit at Pixel Expo day 1. And I have to wear it on stream. So, I can order it tonight. And then it might come before the 31st. And I'll wear it on the 31st. How does that sound, guys? If I order it and it comes before my 24-hour stream, I'll wear it on my 24-hour stream. Maybe not the whole time, but get in, losers, we're going shopping. That's awesome. But yes, first things first, let's actually eat some cheese, because we've been waiting for this, you know? We've been waiting for this. This was what you all came here for. So this is Grana Padano, definitely. Get back to 2K, so he wears day 2 in the streaming booth when I stream. You hit 1,000? Yes! Luca made me hit 1,000. But we're back for cheese. We're back cheesing. This is a very dry one. That means if I have to wear it in day 2, I'm gonna have to wear it to the fucking panel. This is like a mild palm. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, this is like fucking Parmesan. I actually quite like it. Maid host, dear God. Oh yeah, I moved Feta. I was like, where the fuck did Feta go? Panel pics in the main fit, dear God. I don't actually have like proper Parmesan. Well, I got Parmigiano and up here, but not actual Parmesan. Parmesan. Australian Parmesan. I do like Parmesan cheese. It's going here. It's going between these. Gotta pick up buns will be lurking. Hell yeah. Which one was this? Grana Padano. The Italian one would be the real one? Yes. But I'm talking Australian cheese. The one that we would get in our stores here. Alright. Time for some Jarlsberg cheese. I kind of need to speed through this because otherwise I'm going to shit myself. Nah, I'm fine. Jarlsberg cheese. This tastes very familiar. Like, this tastes... I feel like I've tasted this before. Guys, I feel like I've tasted this before. Group shitting begins in 5 minutes. Nuh-uh. Good sandwich cheese? I could see it. Not personally, but I can see it. On the same vibe as Edam, I think. I will rewrite this eventually. No group shitting. Someone screenshot that, please. Can we quote Sky? Can we quote Sky? No group shitting. Oh, guys, I finally hit the Gouda. It's finally Gouda time. I actually have been waiting for this one. Why not? Ooh, there's wax on this one too. Gouda. Wait, please. Guys. No group shitting in the general chat, please. 1984 monitor, no group shitting. Which one did I just eat? Oh, the Gouda. I was like, where am I? I'm losing it, guys. I've eaten so much cheese, I'm losing where I am. We could do it in a group shitting chat. What you wanted, you can group shit wherever you want. Just not general. You can do a group shit wherever you want in your own time, in your own spaces. I don't want to deal with that. No group shitting for me, please. Why? Because people like group shitting, apparently. Don't endorse this. We can group shit wherever we want. No. Out of my sight. Get out of my sight. I don't know if I liked that one, actually. Kept having to delete poo and PVCs from my server. That's funny. Of course, I can assume who that is. Alright. I don't know if I liked that one as much. Why is there so much Too Mellow? What the hell? Surely my fucking playlist isn't that much Too Mellow. Also, Too Mellow's goated, so listen to Too Mellow. I don't... Gouda. I think it's a very similar string cheese taste. I think. That's how you spell it, right? Yes! Guys, I wrote Gouda without looking at it and spelt it correctly. Are you proud of me? Alright, we've got 3 cheeses left. We've got the Australian Parmesan from Woolworths. We've got ricotta. You can spell a 5-letter word correctly without looking. And we've got the mozzarella. Alright. We're gonna have the Australian Parmesan first. And I'm gonna keep this. Without looking even impressive. Right! It's impressive to do something without looking. It's like doing it blindfolded. Would you be able to spell if you were blindfolded? I didn't think so. I forgot this cheese was crumbly. I'm also not a straight cut anyway. Australian Parmesan. I know you're supposed to, like, grate it and shit, but... This is very crumbly. Do you want a sticker? I would love a sticker. Can you make me a sticker? Can you make a sticker of the you wouldn't Squawktopus? That would be so good. That would be a good sticker. What's your question, Luca? I've had that in my head all day. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. It's such a... I'm sorry that I vocal stimmed everybody. Can we can commission David to print it as a sticker? You're so right. You're so right. Holy shit. Oh wait, are you calling me? Would you want to conform or would you want to stand out from the crowd? I don't know what that means. Depends on the crowd. Oh my god. Eating Parmesan, just fucking base Parmesan? Oh. It's not as strong as, like, some blue cheeses, but all things considered. I still do like Parmesan, but it's definitely not up here. Pick a number between 1 and 2, 1 being the crowd, 2 being not. Again, it depends on the crowd, right? Like, if it's people I know, then obviously I would want to stand in with them. You know what? I don't like being a part of the crowd, so 2. Unless if it's specifically like a crowd, you know, you need context for that sort of question. But I guess I'll pick 2 because I usually don't like standing. I usually like standing out. I mean, have you guys seen me at cons? You guys can see me from fucking like 20 miles away. So I don't pink maid dress. Oh god. You guys think pink would look good on me? It's great I don't get lost. No one gets lost. Everyone can see me so easily. I'm gonna put it on the same level as Brie. Where did I... Everyone can... I'm actually a walking landmark. That's crazy. Easily as a stretch. Hey. Alright, Aussie Parmesan goes same level as Brie. That shit was good, so that's like same level as cheddar. You can tell my nice cheeses. A darker pink would look nice on you. Well, fun fact, actually, I do have like a darker pink shirt that I sometimes wear to work. So, all things considered. Darker would fit you better, but a light pink would be cuter. You want me to... You think I'm cute? Alright. We got ricotta, and we got mozzarella. I'm opening the ricotta. Ricotta cheese. Ooh, ricotta cheese. You could be pretty pink maid, Wag. You're so kawaii. Thank you, thank you. Plain ricotta is a choice. You saw the face of regret. I know you did. Move my mouse out of the way. Bro, it looked like he was about to throw up for a second. That's genuinely the first cheese that I've tried today that I actually dislike. Like, this is actively... Actually, hold on. It's not on the same level as Baby Bell. Is Baby Bell ricotta cheese? No comment? No, that was disgusting. What kind of cheese is Baby Bell? What kind of cheese is Baby Bell? Because that invoked the same reaction. Probably cheddar. There's no fucking way Baby Bell is cheddar when cheddar's up here for me. I don't know actually. It's an Gouda style but broken. Okay. Edam Gouda style. Well, considering the fact that that's there, and Gouda is like, okay, so they're both bottom tier. Babybel is an Edam cheese. Okay, so that's fine, right? I fucking it's bad, so I'm not complaining. But ricotta, ricotta cheese was ass. And so I've sent you options. We'll go through options once I finish the mozzarella. Oh my god, you have sent me options. My goodness. So this is the last cheese. This is the last cheese. Fresh mozzarella. Take that back about ricotta. No, absolute ass. Ricotta was so bad. It's gonna spill and be very wet. I can tell. I don't even have like a bowl or anything. How am I gonna do this? My nonna would hate everything we've done tonight. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Get a bowl. Chat. Chat, I had an idea. Chat, I had an idea. There's a Splatoon 3 Carabiner mug that I've had for a while. That I bought. Should I open it in this? Should I open it in the Splatoon 3 Carabiner cup? Lead cheese! The freak. Yeah, I've had this for like since Splatoon launched. You know, I've even got shirts. This has been on my shelf for like 2 years. Should I put it in this, or should I go get a bowl? How big is the bowl? Because it might be too much liquid. Oh yeah, no, it's I don't know how big they are. The problem is it's a singular use pack. Lead is back on the menu, boy. No, actually, it's stainless steel. Alright, I'll get a bowl. I'll grab a bowl. I guess I'll grab a bowl. I'll grab a bowl. Maybe I should move all the cheese at the same time. Bowl acquired. Bowl acquired. Guys, what the hell? Imagine if someone donated like $1,000 while I was off. That'd been crazy. Sand is literally, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What is going on in my chat right now? Anyway, oh, I've just dropped my knife on the floor. The knife that I was going to use. It's fine, I'm not actually using the knife. I gotta pierce it. Oh. Cheese water. $500 and I'll take a sip. Oh. That's disgusting. Can I open it a bit more? Maybe I'll just let it drain out. Hold on. Banger idea. For $500 you gotta drink it all? Hell no. Hell no. $500 and I take a sip. That's like, oh, you're getting banned. I'm draining it. That would wreck your gut. That's why I said $500. Dear God. I think I've made mozzarella cheese before. Like, I've physically made a cheese at one point. I could not tell you what kind of cheese. I think it was mozzarella. But I open it. How, where, when can we do that? I think I made it, like, in primary school as part of, like, PIAC or whatever. If you guys know what that is. Why is it wet and not normal? Because this is fresh mozzarella. In a single-use pack. Make ricotta and mozzarella bits. You need a fuckload of milk? Yeah. How did your primary school get one thing right? That's crazy. It wasn't even my primary school, technically. That was like an extracurricular activity thing. Oh my God. It like leaked. It decided to all leak. Oh. Oh. Okay. You guys ready for this? I wasn't ready. Mozzarella. This is the mozzarella. Make cannoli with spinach and ricotta. That actually does sound nice. That is the mozzarella. There it is. It's the mozzarella. Man. Man, it's so rubbery. Did you just bite into that like an apple? Yeah, I did. You can see it. It's really good shit. I know mozzarella as like an actual good cheese. But that was ass. When the mods snooze the ads, I think we're almost done. Well, this is the end of the tier list. You can make a banging pizza with all the cheese, that's what I'm saying. But all things considered, when you just bite into it, with the shitty, like, brine... Wait, hold on. I need, like, an adjective for this. People are like, you fucking idiot. You can't do this. I'm actively doing this. I'm also spelling mozzarella wrong. Mozzarella is there. Someone translate this into an actual tier list format. I'm going to. I'm actively going to. But this is specifically ball mozzarella. Specifically ball mozzarella, because that was actual ass. As opinions, I'm unsubbing. Guys, let's be real. Let's be civil. Mozzarella is good. That mozzarella? No. Fresh mozzarella apparently is actual shit. I'm pretty sure I've made mozzarella before, and I remember being very disappointed. Mozzarella cheese brine is bad? Yeah. Well, that fucking ball had brine on it. Like, it was in fucking brine. I have not had that. Why do you still like write your B's like you're in primary school? Because that's how I was taught, dumbass. I don't know. I like it. I like them like that. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with the B's? Someone say Hero Brian. Oh my god. Dumb B. I'm muting you. That's how Borogon Cheaty is sold in brine and it tastes good. Yeah. But all things considered, I've just got the bowl of brine. I'm gonna put that over here. Right next to my computer. Nothing could go wrong. Anyway. That's the tier list. I am success. That is done. All things considered. Now, Now it is time for actual, like, writing it correctly, because obviously we've got fuck all shit going everywhere. So we'll move mozzarella down here. I really should have written, what is it? Is it uncooked or whatever? I don't know. I'm just gonna write mozzarella ball. Mozzarella ball makes the most sense here. You know? Rotten, yeah. And then we've got this one. We've got this one. I think it was that way. Alright, and then smoky is below. The smoky slices of cheese. And then I want to say Edam cheese. Jarlsberg. And then cottage. And then that lowers those. This is the tier list right now. I'm making the tier list. This is the tier list. This is the list. And then uncooked halloumi. Is it 2 L's? Why did I write 1? Fuck it. Uncooked halloumi. Camembert. Even thinking uncooked halloumi is gross. And we decided where TikTok's favorite cottage cheese lives and dies on that list. I don't know what that cottage cheese is. If it's cottage cheese, then it's like it's right here. That's cottage cheese right now. How you doing? How you doing, Kate? And then it was Parmesan. Like the Aussie Parmesan with brie. And then truffle. And then I've kind of hit... Oh god, I'm getting raided. I'm in the middle of a tier list! That's awesome. For the kids, for Starlight, let's go! Cheese raid! Oh my god, I'm a rat. Cheese as well. Thank you for the raid, Dreaded GM. That was awesome. How was your stream? What is up? My eraser came out of my thing. Cottage cheese above Baby Bell, I would riot. I hate Baby Bell. I hate Baby Bell. But yes, thank you for the raid. Oh, I gotta reach my stream deck. This is gonna be fun. There it is. I hit my goal of 1,000 today, which is awesome. And now I have to think of stretch goals because I'm streaming every day for August. I've been doing it every day. We hit my goal in 18 days. That's crazy. I hope your fundraiser is also doing well. Because that's crazy. We love charity. We love Starlight. I'm currently in the middle of writing up my cheese tier list. Because I was told that was one of my goals. That was my $100 goal, and I hit that in day 1. So it's currently going. I don't know if I need to actually like make it look better. Oh, I need to fit 2. Alright, hold on. Can I like... Ah, fuck. I'm gonna have to like do this. We are streaming for the rest of the month. We have a community quest to take out the Ender Dragon by the end of the month on hardcore mode. Hell yeah. When did you start that? We've had several deaths. Oh no. When did you start that? That's crazy. Look, Minecraft, very fun game. I'm impressed that you're doing the Ender Dragon in hardcore mode. Yeah, how long have you been doing that? We started 2 days ago. How many people have gotten diamonds? Or, I don't know, are you doing it with a bunch of people? Or are you doing it by yourself? Is this like a one-person thing? Or is it like a group server thing? And you like restarting every time you die? Because that's crazy. We're doing it with mods, community members, and anyone who donates. I see! So what you're saying is, I could join. We've had 5 deaths. That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. Look, you could. I could. See, I could join Minecraft. There are spare slots. We only get 1 try. True. When do you plan on actually fighting the Ender Dragon? Like at the end of the month? People have donated spare spots? Oh, that's awesome. While I write this up. Okay. Gouda. String cheese. Goat. When it happens, we aren't timing it, but if we are ready, we'll go for it. Hell yeah. That's fair. That's completely fair. I died though? Oh no. Is it like you're in spectator mode? Oh, that sucks. I mean, all things considered, right? As long as people are having fun and you're raising money for charity. That's unfortunate. Can you pay to get like an extra life or something? Stilton. Cream cheese. That's like the same. Cream. I'm running out of room. No, not this year, but I think we'll do it every year. Hell yeah. That sounds awesome. I'm glad that you found a thing that works for you. This is going to be such a scuffed thing. I had to move it down. Hold on, I'm almost done with my tier list. I'm almost finished formatting it. Alright. I had to like break a bit. That's what I had to do to make them fit. If we wipe this year, then we'll set the realms up on survival. That checks out. Today we did the crazy thing of taking on the ancient city for no other reason than getting the trim so we can flex. See, that is cool. See, that is a good idea. I love that. What a fun way to raise money. Exactly, Scully. But that is my cheese tier list. Because we hit 1,000. Feta is right at the top, even though I fucking hate Feta. Colby stays right at top anyway. Power went out again, but this time only for a second. That's crazy. You just got what is it? Edged by your power. But this is my tier list. This is my cheese tier list. I guess the question is, where do I break off S tier, A tier, B tier, all that stuff? Right? I wish I knew. Surely this is B tier. I think Camembert was like the start of C. So I'm gonna put this C. We'll say that's the beginning of D. And this is E. Oh, hold on, yeah. I've made it better. Oh shit, why'd I do that? That works better. We wanted to build memorials for the character that died. Has been fun. Hell yeah. Cheese tier list is why I wanted to raid in. It worked. I think Danish, like that is B tier here. A tier. I think that's A tier, and then this up here is S. There you go. Oh, and hold on. F tier! I'll jump out now. Come join us on MC if you think it would be fun. Enjoy your night. Hell yeah. I will definitely check it out. But that is our cheese tier list. We have successfully made the cheese tier list. I'll see if I can make it easier to read. Here we go. Mozzarella ball and ricotta are in E. Babybel is in F. These 4 in D. These 4 in C. Most of them are in B. A has 4 and S has 2. Because B and like This was like the kind of shit cheeses. I did like most of them in B. A was like mwah, and then S is mwah mwah, except feta. But feta's up there. But that is the tier list. If somebody wants to make that an actual tier list, awesome. But that's the tier list, baby. That's the cheese. That's the cheese. We did it. We did it. We've reached 1,000. I have to buy a maid outfit now. Oh, I can't believe it. Thank you all for joining me for this cheese experience. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this cheese. That's going to be crazy. But yeah, we did it. No more wag. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm gone now. Let me open a new window so you guys can see my, my cool stuff. My Luca. Oh my god, there's so much Amazon stuff. Can I open link? Open link. Open link. Open link. You should send me a photo of the tier list. I can put it into Tier Baker. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Okay, guys. Let me switch my. Oh, hold on. Switch my stream over to this so you guys can see the awesome thing. Let me just open up my window. Here we go. How risque do they get? Well, this is the first one Lucas sent. Solid choice. Oh, okay, there's no address. I'm not signed in, thank God. Get out of here. Yes, I live around Perth. Cat boy meow, of course. Well, it also comes in pink. Is it any different? No, hold on. I'm pretty sure I don't know what size I'd have to buy. From what Lucas says, I'd have to buy a couple size larger, so probably the 5X large will probably fit. $50? $51? Emotionally, it's different. That's true. Can I not get the Type 1 pink? Oh, is it only in small? Okay, so the black, I can only get the pink one in small. But it's $51. Pink one be sold out? No, the pink one is the small one. And then 3X and 5X are the... Why is the 3X one more expensive than the 5X? Okay, that's a bit weird. And then we got this one. 2XL is literally the biggest size they have, so this might not be what I might not be able to afford. This one will not get this one. The collar, those are legs. Oh, okay, so it gives me the bust and waist size. Guys, do you think I'm a 96 bust? I don't think I would be. I don't think I'd be able to fit this one, I'm gonna be real. Well, I mean, it only goes up to XL, and this is a 2XL. I don't know. We'll see. Then we got this one. I need those measurements for real now. I do know that. I think you're a Z cup. Big honkers. Oh, does this one have pink? Can I could get a 3X large in pink for $94! Whoo! And at least this one has a size chart. Cat boob window. Oh, the pink one actually has like a boob window. That's awesome. Guys, the pink one has a boob window. I would wear the pink one, I feel like. Oh, wait, we got suggestions and stuff for the sizes. Yeah, I'd have to get a 3 or 5XL but just because of the sizes. I have never wanted anything more. This is $94. Which, you know, I feel like that's fair. That's a very fair assumption. I might have to... Wait, hold on. Can I buy the 5XL? I can only buy the 5XL in black. The pink one has to be in 3XL. So whether or not I can fit those, we'll see. Maybe I can fit into it, maybe not. We will see. We will see. I'll have to get like an actual measurement tape. I'm not buying it today, by the way. I'm not buying it on stream because I do actually would have to measure to make sure that it fits. Then we've also got this one. Okay, a bunch of photos. Cool. This one is 3X, but it's in black. Wish this was a win. Interesting. Alright, well, these are the options. Obviously, people want me to wear something pink. I think this one is, like, the winner for everyone right now. I think this one is definitely the one everybody wants. He's browsing, I am. I think this is the one that everybody would want me to wear. The fucking stockings and gloves, oh my god. The issue is, make sure you get a 5XL to be safe. Well, that's the problem, right? This one, the pink only comes max 3X. The 5X isn't pink. It's the black one. And the black one, I think, the black one, actually, it does look like it's in, no, it does have a boob window, okay. So this one does have a boob window. Will you draw on cleavage? Damn. Oh, okay. He doesn't need to. Whoa. This one's like $100. But this one at least would fit a 5. I would be able to get a 5XL. But the pink one though. The pink one though. Boob window is top tier. It is, right? I will definitely have to look at like the measurements. So this one's probably the one that's going to win. The others definitely aren't as funny. And this one also, the pink one is small. Please give me a photo of that pink maid outfit. I could just give you this. I could give you the link. Take the link. Have the link. That is now in your search. Well, that is now in your history. But yes, I would get this one if it was 5XL and also 3. Like, maybe I can fit a 3XL? Probably not. All things considered. The 5XL is black. Please wear the ears. Oh, the ears would definitely be worn. That's like so obvious. I would definitely wear it. I don't really want to look at other stuff because obviously anime made dress for men, it automatically popped it up here for me. That's crazy. Let's. Oh my goodness. Oh, what the hell is this dude? This dude's crazy for it. His whole ass is out. That man's ass is out. That's crazy. That I locked eyes with that man immediately. His whole ass is out. Don't wear that one. Yeah, this is the one that we were looking at. Is there a way to like look at pink? Can I pink? Ah, here we go. And can I get like a size? I've never really bought anything off Amazon. Oh my god. Scully, we don't need to anymore. Family friendly event, right? I also need to figure out what I'm going to do with the Hatsune Miku packs. Can I check for 5XL while I'm here? See, this one... Is this the one that we had before? Yes. Do you think this has a... Oh, it actually does. The things are, like, specifically here. Oh, let's see this person. Yo! That's awesome. Be warned if wearing out to parties, it does show your ass. My god. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, great. Now I'm getting. We'll see. I'll have to definitely have a look at it. And then hold on. Do you think they've got Hatsune Miku? Hatsune Miku cosplay. Do you think you could get that in 3XL? Let's say 3XL. Oh, it comes with a wig? This one comes with a wig? This goes up to extra, extra large? What happened to the fucking arms? It comes with the wig. I probably wouldn't need a wig. That's not... This isn't Hatsune Miku. Awesome. Cool. I mean, I'll have to look at it at some other point, but... that was the cheese stream, everybody. Thank you so much for popping in and doing cool stuff with me. Ranking the cheese. What a stream. We hit 1,000. You know, that's the tier list right there. What a legend. What a legendary tier list. Raid? We will see. We'll see who is live. This was amazingly chaotic. It was. It was so beautiful. What a game. Is there anybody currently that I follow, that I know, streaming for Starlight right now? So beautiful. It was so good. Do I know anybody here that might be streaming? Oh. Dill streaming. Do I not follow Dill? Or did it just not show up for some reason? I don't? What? That's crazy. Alright, hold on. I got this. Apparently I don't follow Dill, but we're gonna go raid Dill. Which is kind of crazy. So please, fellow Australian, this is awesome. I've met this man in real life. The other question is, does he remember me? But yeah, Lies of P. Is he streaming for Starlight? I don't know. Maybe. Actually, hold on. Hold on. Didn't say anything about it. Is no one that I know streaming? Unraid. Yeah, I did just unraid. Nobody that I know is currently streaming for Starlight. Blooper is live? I was hoping for the Starlight. I was hoping for cool, somebody, you know, special shit. Come on. Why is no one cool streaming right now? I say no one cool. No one I know personally is streaming for Starlight, which is sad. Mostly, like, I couldn't even see anybody doing streams on Starlight right now. Everybody's kind of doing their own stuff. So, whatever, I guess. Man, I wanted to raid into somebody who was also doing Starlight, but I couldn't find anybody doing actual Starlight stuff. Do we raid Hanaki? Streaming Persona? The Phantom X? Yeah, why not? Guys, we're gonna raid Hanaki. You guys know Hanaki, right? Surely you remember Hanaki. We're gonna raid Hanaki. So please go follow them and all stuff. But I will definitely be fucking out of here. Tomorrow is Resident Evil 6 with Nuki. We're gonna go enjoy shit. Yeah. Resident Evil 6, and then I gotta figure out what I'm doing on Wednesday. Might be the karaoke stream. We don't know, so stick around. We've got some cool streams for the rest of the month. It's gonna be interesting. I'm hitting the end button. Holy shit!